Hello, and welcome to another grab and go activity with me, Christine, the teen librarian at the Jones Creek branch of the East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Our craft today will be making mug rugs, aka coasters, using a cardboard loom. To make this project, you will need cardboard, a ruler, a pen, scissors, yarn, and some kind of makeshift needle to pull the string through. The last two things you will need are painter's tape and a disposable fork. You could also use a non-disposable fork, but I'm sending you home with one of these. All right, let's get to crafting. We're going to take our piece of cardboard, which is 5 inches by 7 inches, and we are going to take our ruler, and on the centimeter side, we are going to make little marks, 20 of them, a ½ centimeter apart and centered along this and this edge. Let's get to work. So 20 marks, a ½ centimeter apart means I need 10 centimeters centered on the paper. And I'm going to make my marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20. That's not centered. There's less room over here than over here. I'm going to add another couple over here and, make it work. Alright, I'm going to cut out the 20 of these I want, and then mark 20 more and cut them out on this end. I've taken my ruler, my pen, and my cardboard and made marks 1.5 inches from each edge. This will be where I start and end my weaving. I'm going to take my very long piece of string, put one end through a notch, take a piece of tape, and tape that down. Now I'm going to put it through the notch on the other side. Wrap it around, come through the next notch, wrap, next notch, and keep going around the entire piece of cardboard this way. I'm not pulling too tight, but I'm not letting it be loose either. I'll come back to you when I've done all of my notches. Alright, I've wrapped all of my notches, so now on the back of my cardboard loom, I'm going to take another piece of tape and tape down my end. And then cut off the excess with my scissors. There we go. These are all the wrap yarns ready to go. Now it's time to thread one of our little makeshift needles. There we go, that one's done. And start weaving. We're going to use the simplest weaving pattern there is. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Starting from the left, we're going to go over the first piece with our needle, under the second, over, under, over, under, over, under, until we get to the end. Now, we're going to pull all of the yarn through. I have about 3 or 4 yards right here. You'll need about 8 to do the entire project. Until you have about a 4-inch piece of string left over. Now let's put this at our mark that we have on the back. That starts about there. Cool. Now we take our needle and we're going to go back through and we're going to go over, under again, which now that we're going back in the opposite direction we came will be the opposite of the previous piece. It's helpful to do your weaving in a sort of arc pattern because that keeps your yarn from going too tight and causing all the threads to bunch up. Let me finish doing this line. Here's where your fork comes into play. To get your lines of weaving close together, scrape them together with the tines of your fork, and then do another line of weaving. Here's another line with the arch. Let's beat that down. With our fork and keep going. One more line, one more beat down. And you will keep going. You can change colors after a bit to a new color of yarn. Change colors, change colors. Let's do an example. So, I've done a stripe of my purple yarn, and I'm going to cut it off about 4 inches from the end. Then I'm going to take this, my new darker purple yarn, so this one ended on this side going, and the yarn went under. So this one, I'll go over with my needle first, then under. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And pulling it through until I have about the same length of tail on this side. And then I'll keep weaving along. Here's a weaving I made earlier. Our next step, when yours is this big, which may take a while, you can put it down and pick it back up again as you want. Our next step is to cut the warp and remove it from the loom. So we're going to turn it to the back side of this, and you're going to cut through the middle of all of the strings. Boop. This one, and just take out the tape. Alright, No going back from this, y'all. But we still have these strings from my stripes, and it could definitely come undone. What we're going to do now is secure the tails of all of these little bits of yarn. Now, if we had a real needle and not a paper clip that I have bent, you could weave in the ends by threading it on your needle and going over, under through here. But that won't work. Everything will get tight. So what we're going to do is tie the two tails together. Like that. Tie it in another knot. And then cut off the excess. We're going to do this for all of the little bits on the side. All right, there we go. All the edges are secure. Now, remember how on this one you had your two little bits here? That's the plan. Always begin and end on the same side, so you can tie them together. You could even tie them together at this stage instead of once you've cut them off the loom. Doesn't matter. Now we've got our endy bits, and shock of all shocks, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tie a little knot with the last bit of yarn and the fringe. And then, after we've done both sides like that, we're going to do more knots. Because, look at this is going to escape. You take two of these guys, you tie them together. Make a knot, make two knots. I'm a fan of two knots is better than one. And work your way down the entire fringe on both sides. See you in a bit. Alright, we are nearly finished, y'all. So we have gotten rid of the tails from our stripes. We have secured the ends. We are happy and ready to go, except that these fringes are too long, so we're going to trim them down. Trim them down how much? I don't know. To about that long. Yeah, that looks okay. Alright, and there you go. You have made yourself a mug rug, a coaster, woven in the most ancient tradition with the most traditional of materials. If you end up making one of these or anything else you weave with your cardboard loom, consider posting it on social media and tagging us on Insta or Facebook. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in our next Grab and Go. This is Christine, signing out. Bye-bye.